Hello, how are you? I'm back on the channel after a while without posting, but now I'm back. Today we are going to put into practice, that is, incorporate into a song that vocal point technique so that you can understand that transitions between registers can be much simpler. I want to thank Aaron Fuentes for the comment suggested a video on this topic. He makes comment on the video from falsetto to belting that if you haven't seen yet, I suggest you watch it later, okay? Well, he commented the following. Thanks for this explanation. At last I could understand and make the belting. Now I'm having problems to incorporate this in a song. I mean, making the transition, for example, the chest voice to a belting when a high note comes. I realize that many people are having this difficulty because they still think a lot about register transitions. Yes, these transitions exist, but they can be solved in a simple way when you realize that the voice is unique and not divided into parts. So, if you want to perform a song transitioning through several aesthetics, starting from a single point, stay with me in this video until the end. And before we continue, I also want to let you know here that I have a few open spots for my individual singing mentoring. If you are interested in working on your voice in an individual and personalized way, focusing solely on your goals, just fill out the application form in the description of this video. But hurry up, there are only a few spots left. Okay, now let's go to the class. I'm Germano Brissac, singing teacher and professional singer to over 20 years here in Brazil. Before continuing, I would like to ask you to subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed and press the bell for notifications of new videos and leave your like to help this channel to grow and bring you more vocal technique and music content. Stay with me until the end to understand the details and, as a result, you will have a more optimized and simple way of singing. Let's go. Let's start to the point. Let's start by simulating our awareness of our voice with a light glissando exercise. But before we start the glissando, let's activate the higher resonance, the voice point with NG or twang exercise. An important point here, the air pressure is the same as for speech, nothing more. In a comfortable key. Repeat about 5 times. Right? Now, having done this, let's go to a sustained note with the letter N. Relax the jaw. Feel the sound here. Now that we feel the voice vibrating in these higher cavities, let's put a little more energy into the emission, the same as for speech, to balance this emission. And what does balancing the emission mean? It means working with larynx muscle in a balanced way and the TA thyroid and CT cricothyroid muscle working together, thus creating a perfect mix. Like this. Relax the jaw. Light sound. And now a little more pressure. Right? Having built this sensation, let's move on the glissando. First, with intervals of fifths, like this. going up half a tone at a time without losing touch with everything that has been built up until now, and realizing that the voice is an elastic band, single thing that stretches and shortens with the breath. Remember, with the energy of the speech. After, you can experiment with intervals of octave and feel the transition without breaks, like this. Yeah? The important thing is to find the balance point of the air pressure, and this happens when you establish the connection with the first note. The starting point is more important because the consequence of that, if you remain in the emission, the air support happens spontaneously. And this breath, when passing through the vocal folds, is what brings the sound frequencies that access the cavities of our head and thus creates the complete sound of our voice. Now, let's work on a musical melodies using this idea, and you will notice that when you have the balanced emission, you don't need to think about transitions because the articulations will modify the sound, bringing predominance to your muscle that are connected and will bring the right aesthetics for each moment. In the end, you are manipulating the filters of your voice. Remember that this is my method, right? I choose one musical excerpt to implement this awareness in music and show you how you can study to get consistent and fast results. First, let's bring the idea of glissando to the musical melody, singing with the letter N and then opening the vowel, keeping the same feeling of the exercise. With this, we optimize our singing and do everything in the same region with variations of muscular predominance, but in a much more organic way. Let's take this phrase that now comes from a region where we bring a chest aesthetics, chest voice, and raise it to a belting, right? The famous 2.5 octave chorus of a song, Take on Me. I'm starting from the note A2, but without loading the sound. I'm using the predominance of TA, but with the right pressure to keep the spaces open. I'm going to need this space so that the sound frequencies pass through the vocal folds and I keep the emission balanced, like this. Now I've left this A2 and I'm already going to G sharp 3 plus A3, creating the first phrase. Take on me. With the glissando. See that there is a jump in notes, but I'm always in the same point. The voice is like an elastic band, remember? Now I'll go from the A3 to E4 plus F sharp 4. Take me on. If you want to give it more sound to train, I raise my cheek and to raise the palate a little more and have a more presence belting like this. Right? Of course, this is not what the song calls for, but just to give an example. Now, let's go to the part where we sing C sharp 4 to G sharp 4 and A4. the original song, this part is taken to a falsetto, however, in the final phrases of the song, where this melody repeats. The vocalist uses his full voice more presence, but in a vertical position, like this. In the same point, but another aesthetic. The important thing here is to aware of how we can manipulate the filters and consequently have greater of lesser predominance of the muscle involved. I use this song as an example just to try illustrate what we can experiment with our voice. Now, I would like you to try this experiment in your voice studies and tell me in the comments how it went. Well, that is for today. Don't forget to share this video and leave your like so that this channel grows to bring more information on vocal technique and singing optimization. And don't forget too, if you want to individual and personalized support to achieve your goals with your voice quickly, the application form for individual online classes is in the description. There are only a few spots, right? See you in the next video.